Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is NXT. We are back in the Hammerstein Ballroom. We are back in New York after a thrilling edition of NXT TakeOver New Orleans and the fallout that came with it last week as well. That is all in the bag now. It is time to move on with the show. And tonight it's going to be another big one. Main event for this evening. The women main eventing twice in 1 week. Thrilling times for them. Mayu Iwatani will go one-on-one against Toni Storm later on this evening, as we look forward to seeing what this evening is all about for NXT and where they go in the face of having lost some of their biggest names in Trifecta, of course, as we saw on Raw, and Tyler Bate, as we saw last night in ECW. That is all to come throughout this evening. And before we get into any action at all tonight, we hear from the NXT General Manager, Logan Wayne. And here comes the NXT General Manager, I imagine, with a little bit on his mind. Following TakeOver New Orleans. It's been a while since I was last in the Hammerstein Ballroom, to be fair. It's been almost a month now after everything that has happened. But nevertheless, here we are, ready for this evening, ready to go. And ready to hear from the NXT General Manager to kick everything off. Logan Wayne welcomed us all to another edition of NXT. TakeOver New Orleans is, of course, in the bag, and in the eyes of the General Manager, it was a great show from top to bottom. He wants to thank everyone who was involved in it for making it one of the very best takeovers there have been. That being said, there is no time to sit around and savor the moment. There is a show that needs to be run. Fair point. Of course, we all know the drill. When TakeOver goes, talents leave with it, and that is no exception this time around. He's wishing everyone the best of luck who's moved up to the main stage, and thanks them for their services for NXT. Without guys like Tyler Bate, Tessa Blanchard, Jazzy Gabbitt, NXT wouldn't have had access to the incredible matches that we've seen these last few months. And I second that one. And as for NXT, they have to keep on rolling on. Tonight is all about the new faces, from those drafted to a fresh face who we're going to be seeing later on. That's going to be a very interesting scenario. Mike Kanellis will be in action next week as well, but tonight is all about the true future of this universe, and the future starts now. The NXT General Manager with quite a bit to say there regarding the future of this brand, really, and what we're seeing here tonight. Already excited for the action. Let's get into it. And that talk about the future might start just right now as we prepare to see TJP in action for the first time in NXT. Totally not my fault he's down here. Yes, it is. Anyway, TJP, though, getting his opportunity to shine on a company where... Oh, he's going to hit the dab, isn't he? Oh, boy. Anyway, well, that's his NXT career ruined. Dude, that thing is about... older than me. TJP anyway coming towards the ring, of course. Yes, TJP has a chance to shine on NXT, shall we say, and let's not forget, it's not as if being sent down to NXT is a bad thing. It's not as if, oh, your career's ruined when you go down to NXT, so the phrase goes. Cesaro, Dean Ambrose, they both went down last year. Look where they are now. The biggest name who came down to NXT, Kazuchika Okada. And Yuri stands as... what is he again? WWE Champion. There have been other names who have been on the main roster and then found themselves in NXT. Guys like the DCC. NXT is not a bad thing when it comes to these future talents. It's just not. There are guys who can have an opportunity to shine. That's why I said about bringing The Miz down to NXT. I believed he would succeed better in NXT than he would on ECW. And as a result of that, when he comes back up to the big stage... He'll have way more under his belt and way more that he'll be able to do as a result of it. I hope I'm right on that one, though, as we get underway here with action. TJP, of course, looking to make a statement message in his first match on NXT. What can he do here? Because TJP was a member of the Cruiserweight division of ECW, but with all the immense talent we've seen growing in that division as of late, from Zack Sabre Jr. to Mustafa Ali to Hiromu Takahashi, there was just no place for a guy like TJP to find himself, and he couldn't hang with that level of talent. Just the way things go. TJP, though, right now looking to impress on his debut match, working over the arm right now, wrenching it back there. Good work indeed as he gets a quick stomp in. TJP, of course, all he's looking to do is just dominate this match as long as he can, send a message with it, and prove that he deserves to be a name to remember on NXT, I think is the easiest way of putting it. And I mean, there are a lot of names right now on this roster who, when I look at, I see huge potential, and I'm seeing some guys in action later on this evening, like Juice Robinson. I've talked highly of Juice in his tenure on NXT. And there's a good reason behind it. I think he can be a star. There are other guys as well, guys like Jay Lethal, Jeff Cobb, the Usos even later on tonight. That's just going on about guys as well. The women's division is incredible. It's immensely talented. The depth in it is phenomenal. And with AJ Lee having been added to it as well, that is a huge roster, a huge division to challenge for the NXT Women's Championship. And of course, one thing that I want to make apparent right now, even though people who might, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, one thing I want to make apparent right now, apparently, is that Rhea Ripley has still been listed as a member of the NXT Women's roster. So I believe, while Gabbett and Blanchard have made the jump up to Raw, Ripley has not. Which could be very interesting indeed, as another big uppercut is hit there by TJP. He's in complete control of this match now, looking to end it. Turns him round. Double underhook. Gutbuster. TJP thinking that's enough to put things away here. Enough for victory this evening on his NXT debut. Close, but no cigar. One more move might need to be broken out before this move could be put to rest. TJP eyeing it up, wanting to strike with a quick and effective win. Detonation kick connects. TJP gets all of it, and with it should be getting his hands on a nice victory on his first match in NXT. Cover made. There's two. There's ball game. TJP, your winner. TJP has done it. The victorious start that he was looking for here on NXT has been achieved, and now TJP can look ahead to his future on this roster. Simple but effective win. And I think that's why TJP's celebration is a little bit muted. He knows there's a long way to go on NXT. And yeah, he'd be right. Nevertheless, victory for TJP. Time to move on to our next contest. Again, looking at a face that's been brought down from the main roster. It's going to be a very interesting one. The Street Profits getting an opportunity against the Usos. Been interesting to see over these last few weeks, really, or months, really, the opportunities that are coming the way of the Street Profits. You know, they've gone from just being just local people to call in now to getting opportunities to shine on NXT, and I think that's great to see. I believe they're getting trained more and more, and there could be a strong future in this universe for the Street Profits. But as for right now, the focus does go to the Usos. Also, I would like to apologize if you're not exactly hearing much voice raising out of me like you heard last night on ECW. There was a lot of shouting to do in ECW, and it did hurt my throat as a result of it. Nevertheless, the Usos coming towards the ring here for this action. Came down from SmackDown Live, and I think it's been the story of the Usos on the main roster on ECW. They couldn't succeed on SmackDown Live. They couldn't succeed either. It just has not been the calling for the Usos. And once again, as I said with TJP, it's not a bad thing to come down to NXT. There is absolutely room for these two men to become the talent that we know they can be. There is no doubt in my mind that these two can be the absolute best. They just need to prove it. It's like a situation with Jay Lethal. The potential is there. They're just not taking advantage of it. That's all it comes down to. Although I hope that after last week's win over, well, a few weeks ago, but of course we all saw it last week's, the win over EC3, the guys wake up a little bit. Oh, cheap shot from Angelo Dawkins there, I believe that one is. The Street Profits getting very heated there as it's Jey Uso starting this one here. Dawkins fired up in the early goings, and Jey Uso not best pleased about that one. Short arm lariat there. Down comes Dawkins. But yeah, no, like I said, like Lethal, he just could not, you know, he's, I think he's going to be able to work things out. I think he's going to be able to wake up a little bit now here on NXT. I know he's been here a few months already, but still, I believe there is a strong future for Lethal up ahead. And like I said, if you want to see an example of a guy who came down to NXT when he wasn't at his best and succeeded and became one of the very best, just look at Okada. You want an example? I mean, you want to know something right now? 2 of the 3 world champions in this universe came from NXT. Okay, yes, Okada and Tanahashi were already known before that, but in this universe, they came through NXT, then went to the main roster, and then made themselves a star. Okada was on the main roster first, but he made his name in NXT. Tanahashi came through NXT, and here he stands a few months later, after heading out of NXT as the World Heavyweight Champion. Just says a lot about what NXT does mean to this universe. And the Usos can certainly succeed here. Jimmy Uso getting tagged in there. Good quick strikes here from him on Dawkins. Dawkins, I think, is trying to get the tag into Montez Ford. And he just hasn't been able to succeed with that yet. Setting him up against the ropes. That's definitely not the place where you want to go to try and tag in your partner. And Jimmy Uso makes him pay. Throwing him over the top rope. Referee holding him back there. I don't really see a reason why. It's not as if Jimmy Uso was backing up more than anything. In the corner we go now, tag made. Montez Ford, the legal man. Now holding him by the throat there, Dawkins was, and Ford goes right into him, throwing him into Dawkins. Big lariat. Big double team there, but Jimmy Uso not going to stay down for long. Right back up to his feet, right back into focus. Right back into looking to get the win here. There is a very nice Samoan drop, simple but effective. And into the turnbuckle goes Montez Ford, tag made. Uso setting things up. Double super kick and down goes Ford. You know, it's safe to say the Street Profits, they are getting better. They are training. They're learning. That tag team move is an example of it. But they are not on the level of the Usos. Angelo Dawkins coming back in off the tag here. Not much time to rest, but a big drop kick coming in with a head full of steam. Stopped in its tracks, however. Oh, gets it again, though. Caught him with 2 good flying drop kicks there. Jey Uso, though, quick to fight out of this here. That arm lock there, not going to keep him down for much longer. He's going to try the same thing against Angelo Dawkins, though, trying to one-up him here. Maybe for the return for the disrespect from Dawkins in the early stages of this match. Looked for a big forearm there. Didn't get it. Jey Uso looked for a super kick. Dawkins, he was staggered and dazed. That time around, he got blasted by it, though. Super kick from Jey Uso, and now a Samoan driver. Into the mat goes Dawkins, head first. Ford wanting in now, and he'll get in. Tag made. Montez Ford, the legal man, brought right into a front face lock, and a suplex that follows on him as well. The Usos are just controlling this match, plain and simple. That's all they're seeking to do right now, is control this match by any means. Double super kick once again to Montez Ford. Jimmy Uso sits him up. Oh, went for a kick in the chest there. Counter by Ford. Nicely done. Swatted away, though. Back elbow from Jimmy Uso. Counters there, though. This is competitive, has to be said. I mean, the Street Profits have not been on the level of the Usos in this one. This has been the Usos match significantly more. That doesn't change the fact that there hasn't been a great bit of fight from the Street Profits, getting better and better each and every time they're in the ring, especially when they're in the ring with talents like the Usos. In the turnbuckle we go again here. Great back and forth tags, quick tags, effective tags being made by the Usos. Flying forearm there from Jey. But Montez Ford quick to counter, quick to send Jey Uso over that top rope. Jey Uso counters. Sunset flip, cover made. Looking to put away Montez Ford. Looking to get their first one at NXT. Oh, they almost had it. Ford flips it over, and a kick out from Jey Uso. Ford probably going to be looking for that tag into Dawkins desperately, but it ain't happening right there, and it doesn't look like it's going to be happening right about now. Oh, like father, like sons. A running tackle. A running hip attack in the corner there. But Montez Ford musters up another counter in him. Trading chops, though, with Jey Uso. Never a good idea. Especially when you're on the back foot. Tag made. I think I know what's incoming. Here Uso. Jimmy Uso gonna fly. Uso splash. Cover is made. Dawkins not going to make the save. And the Usos have won their first match as well. 2 for 2 on new faces in NXT. The Usos needed this win, and they have got it. Victory achieved for Jimmy and Jay. A fine performance from the Usos. A fine performance from the Street Profits as well. Still up on their feet after the match. Just a little disappointed maybe that they didn't get the win they so desperately wanted. I think the Street Profits' time will come. As for now, the Usos looking to show that they deserve to be on top. And every reason for it. Good win for the Usos there though. Plenty still to go on NXT. Coming up next, Logan Wayne talked earlier in the evening about there being a fresh face on NXT. Time for us to see them. It was Brody King and Jonathan Gresham last week. Who will it be tonight? I don't think it'll be Pete Dunne, but still. Who will it be? Oh! Yes! I like it. I approve of this one. Josh the Goods Woods, a 4-time All-American collegiate wrestler. An absolutely phenomenal amateur wrestler, former mixed martial artist as well. Josh Woods is a fine talent in every sense of the word. This is a guy with immense talent, just waiting for it to be untapped. And he has every reason for it to untap his potential in NXT. This is a guy who I see, and I have spoke very highly of away from the commentary position. Josh Woods has all the talent in the world to be a star. This guy is still, if I remember rightly, he's still immensely young. I think he's only like, I can't remember his 20s, maybe. He is very young indeed, and there is plenty of room for him to become a star. Like I said, 4-time All-American. That is, you don't just achieve that. You absolutely, not only do you just earn that either, you work your way to that. You work hard to achieving that. And that's exactly what Josh Woods is looking to do here in NXT as well. Work to being a star. He might not be the biggest guy. He might not be the heaviest guy, but I'll tell you what this guy is. He is dangerous. If he takes Heath Slater down to the mat here, he will take him down. He will finish him. He will punish him. Let's see what's going to happen here. Look at that by Woods. They're just throwing him across the ring. Just for a bit of fun, really. And this is where he gets at his most dangerous. When the guy, like I said, when he keeps the guy pinned down on the mat. These hard elbows coming in. That's the MMA side of Woods. And Slater is just... he's just being obliterated right now, I think is the best way of putting it. There's the power of Josh Woods. All depends, of course, on how Woods' style of wrestling is hardly going to be one that's going to drive a lot of hatred out of people. He wrestles a very fair style, but he wrestles a very vicious style as well. Much like Brody King does as well. That hard-hitting offense. Slater getting in an elbow there, but that is about all of his offense so far. Oh, Woods came running right into that knee and came off his feet. Forearm in the face there. Here we go now. Slater trying to get something back here, trying to spoil the debut. Did he have debut on him last week? Was it Brody King? I believe it was. Slater doesn't want to end up here again. Double knees in the corner by Josh Woods, though. And, oh! Superman punch as well. Huge Superman punch. And Woods is in. Leaping knee right in the face. And the 4-time All-American is looking to put things away. Welcome to NXT, Josh Woods. A dominant win over Heath Slater. And that is what it means to be a 4-time All-American. That is what a dangerous athlete looks like. That is what a guy with all the future, all the prospects in the world can deliver. Josh Woods, keep your eyes on this guy in the weeks and the months and maybe even the years that follow, because this is a guy who is going to be a very, very dangerous athlete as time goes on. Might not be it right now, but well, he is right now, but I guarantee there is only room for him to grow. NXT may have lost Tyler Bate, they may have lost Trifecta, but boy have they gained with the new faces in town. Boy have they gained with the likes of Brody King, Josh Woods, Jonathan Gresham. NXT is just fine. Nevertheless, we have seen a spat over the last few weeks involving Stone Cold Steve Austin's merry band of happy men and the new foundation. Tonight that continues on. We get the flip side of the match from what we saw last week. Juice Robinson versus Noam Dar up next. Rightio, here we go. For the first time this evening, we're actually going to get both entrances as well, so that'll be interesting. Here he comes anyway. The flamboyant Juice Robinson walking towards the ring, accompanied just how No Way Jose was last week by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Of course, I said this last week as well, when I hear that when Stone Cold said he was going to make a team to oppose the new foundation, I was expecting two guys with bald heads wrestling in about the wrestling attire that Stone Cold had in his wrestling career. No, absolutely not. He brought in two of the most happy-go-lucky guys in NXT in No Way Jose and Juice Robinson. Instead, Jose, of course, last week was beaten by Toni Nese. Now, here tonight, it's Juice Robinson's turn as he goes up against Noam Dar. We saw the ability of Nese last week, though, in that match. It was a very dominant display by Nese in many regards. Now it's the turn of Noam Dar. There's Bret the Hitman Hart. Of course, both Hart and Stone Cold retired from in-ring action. Bret Hart saying that these two men were the future generation of the Hart style of wrestling in this universe. And from where we're looking, there's every reason to believe that that statement has rung true, because they have done a damn good job of living by it, essentially. They've done a damn good job of following that message. Dar and Nese have been very successful with Bret Hart by their side. But there will come a time, I think, when these two teams do meet in tag team action, just to settle this once and for all. As for tonight, it is one-on-one between Juice and Noam Dar. It's been a quick night of action already on NXT. This one, though, could go a little bit slower. I wonder as well, we talked about how about how Dar and Nese have been succeeding as a result of the teachings, the tutelage of Bret the Hitman Hart. I wonder if Austin's been teaching Jose and Juice to get a little bit more vicious, to hit a little harder in their matches, to take more risks, to be more vicious. They have great, the characters of these two guys, the way we look at them, they're great, they have such great exuberance to them. They have great confidence to them in that regard as well. But is there maybe a side of them that lacks that viciousness? And maybe that's what Stone Cold is trying to unlock in them. Maybe he does see a vicious side to them like Stone Cold had. May very well be the case. Juice Robinson right now taking an early control in this match. Looks for a DDT there. Great counter. If there's anyone who's going to teach you how to get out of a wrestling hold, it is going to be Bret the Hitman Hart, and Noam Dar is going to know how to do it incredibly well. In the turnbuckle we go now. Noam Dar with a dropkick right in the chest of Juice Robinson, who sits down in the corner again, choked now in the corner by Dar. Austin, his eyes front and center on the action going on in the ring. No surprise as to why. He's hoping that his men don't get swept clean. In-ring action here over these last 2 weeks. You'll have remembered what happened inside the arena of TakeOver New Orleans, even if it was a few weeks ago and we only saw it last week. It still doesn't change the fact if things have to be done to change that all around, if things have to be done to make sure that Juice Robinson gets his win here tonight, and Juice looks for a powerbomb, and again, Dar reads it. Great counter from Noam Dar into the cover. After that, sunset flip only gets a 1 count though on Juice. Dar's success is coming from his ability to counter an awful lot of what Juice Robinson's looking for. Fisherman suplex there, doesn't go for the cover. It's really just a suplex at that point, and not a very devastating one at that either. Kick in the gut now by Dar. Is he going to look for a powerbomb here? Yes, he will. Didn't allow Juice all the way up as well, so that powerbomb was even more devastating. Indian Deathlock being applied here now. Devastating hold. You think of how bad the figure four is when you're pushing, when you're twisting the knee in an opposite direction. This is just pushing the knee against the leg, really. It's pushing the knee in a direction where the leg cannot go. It's devastating. That's the easy way of saying it. And another big counter from Noam in this matchup. Again, Juice looks to hit hard, and again, he can't connect with it because Noam finds the counter to it. Bret Hart, a lot of his tutelage, as we can see, has come in the form of countering moves, in reversing moves that could be devastating. A lot of work done on the knee there by Noam in that moment. Juice finally getting in a counter of his own. Juice now from behind has the leg locked here. Shin breaker, back suplex. Finally, Juice Robinson could look to turn things around right now. Finally, he could look to get himself on the money. Big power bomb from Juice. Look at this. Juice Robinson hanging in there. The vicious side. This might have been the side that Stone Cold was looking to teach it to Juice Robinson. Argument now at ringside. Toni Nese getting involved here, trying to help out his tag team partner, but I don't think it recovered from any of those power bombs. Irish whip off the rope. Comes the flamboyant one. Duck under there from Dark. Collision made between the two of them. There's the leaping kick again. Juice Robinson turning things around in this match. Maybe a bit of commentators curse there at all. Kicked right in the leg again. Dark taking care of that leg right now. And now trying to take care of some underhanded business. Removing the turnbuckle pad. Juice Robinson, though, fighting back. Not wanting to end up in that turnbuckle pad, at the same time not looking to use it to his advantage. Dardo corked him. Oh, low blow, low blow. Ref rings for the bell. Referee rings for the bell. Robinson wins by DQ. Matters taking it to Juice's own hands. This was about sending a message from Bret Hart to Stone Cold. Noam Dar standing above Juice there. And a foul way to end what was a thoroughly entertaining contest. Well, that might have been a very spoiled ending to what was a thoroughly entertaining match, but we have to move on to our main event of the evening. And what a main event it's going to be. Mayu Iwatani, Toni Storm, one-on-one against one another. Two incredible talents looking to show why the women are always at the very top of NXT. And it's going to be a good one. Without further ado, let's get into it. Interesting how just before TakeOver, these two women were teaming with one another. They were on each other's side, teaming with the now NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai against Trifecta. And now here tonight, this is what this main event's going to be about. It's not going to be about the brawling. It's not going to be about the physicality. It's going to be about two incredibly talented women putting on a great match that they respect one another in as well. That's where you got to remember the respect is key to this contest. It's going to be a thoroughly entertaining one. Of course, we saw the debut last week as well in the women's division of Candice LeRae as well, was another one who I forgot to discuss. There were 3 debuts last week, and in a way 3 tonight between TJP and the Usos, and of course Josh Woods. Nevertheless, of course, Iwatani and Toni Storm have great respect and great friendship with the new NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai, but the reality is that Toni Storm is back on the block. Remember, Storm was not allowed to challenge for the NXT Women's Championship so long as it was held by Tessa Blanchard. Well, newsflash, it's not held by Tessa Blanchard anymore. Toni Storm can get a crack at that NXT Women's Championship once again. She could start that quest towards it here tonight with victory over Mayu Iwatani. Like I said, these two women respect one another. They know they want that victory. They know they want to go for the NXT Women's Championship, but there can only be one winner here tonight. It's got to be all about who, just simply put, who wants it more, who's willing to sacrifice more in order to make sure that they're the ones with their arm raised and going down in the history books with the victory in this one. Storm and Iwatani, like I said, so talented. And this match is deserving of a main event as well because of the in-ring talent that we see here. Between a woman who has given us incredible matches at NXT TakeOvers in Toni Storm and a woman who will give us incredible matches at future TakeOvers in Mayu Iwatani. This is going to be a damn fine matchup. Iwatani, of course, came through from the Mae Young Classic semi-finalist in that one. Eliminated by eventual winner. No, sorry, not eventual winner. Eventual runner-up in Miko Satomura. Of Combo tie up again between these two women, and again, Storm is able to back up Iwatani to the ropes here. Once again, a clean break between these two women. And here we go now. Now we get into it. Side headlock from Storm. Works on the arm early here, trying to get one over in Iwatani in the early stages. Now it's Iwatani who grabs the side headlock here. Can Storm try and force her way out of this one? She cannot. Side headlock takeover now for Iwatani. Wrenching on that head and that neck a little bit, and gets in the shot in the side headlock as well. Iwatani getting the one up there in the early goings, but here goes Storm. What you've got to remember is that the training that these two women have undergone for these kind of matches, the training they've undergone to prove they belong in this division. Great move there from Iwatani. And what's another thing you've got to watch out for is the hard-hitting moves they can deliver. Strong zero, of course, from Storm on that dragon suplex from Iwatani. Devastating moves. They could put this match away in an instant. Both women right now, though, getting out a lot of counters on one another, but there's a huge German suplex for Iwatani. Storm moves out of the way, however, from behind. Oh! Leg was hooked there in that back suplex, kind of like a regalplex. In the turnbuckle now. Oh, what a drop kick from Storm. Full head of steam, and Storm is in again. Second drop kick connected with there. Iwatani could try and block that when all she wanted to. That was going right into her face, and she wasn't stopping it. Double underhook suplex. Storm fired up right now. Oh, but Iwatani shrugs off the kick, and as if to say, what more have you got? Tilt-a-whirl hurricanrana there. Storm trying to recover in the turnbuckle, but she is going nowhere so long as Iwatani has anything to say. Drop kick from Iwatani. Look at this. Turnabout is fair play. Double drop kick from Iwatani. That is what I like to see. Tit for tat between these two. This is butterfly lock here from... Oh, it is a bit of a butterfly lock from Iwatani there, and into the cover made from Iwatani as well. That's out of Zack Sabre Jr.'s playbook. Been a long time since he last used that one though, but I do remember him utilizing that before. Iwatani right now has control in this contest, standing tall over Toni Storm and letting her know it as well. Standing moonsault, got all of it. Iwatani sees an opportunity. She goes up high. She's gonna fly, went for the frog splash. Knees in the gut from Storm. You've got to imagine the new NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai watching this one on. She knows these two women well. Now she's seeing what they can deliver in the ring. Look at this. Dragon suplex to Iwatani of all people. And it only gets a 1 count. Surprise, surprise. See what Storm will do here. Snap German suplex from Storm. Incredible bridge. Looking for victory with it. Looking to seal it. And again, Iwatani with the shoulder up at 1. Hammerstein Ballroom very interested by this match right now. Look at the number of people on their feet right now as Toni Storm is going to risk it all for victory. Through the ropes. Nice drop kick. And this match now going to the outside. Storm being in control now for a few moments here. Iwatani in trouble as she is sent into the barricade. We're back. Screaming out as it goes into the steel barricade there. This is all Toni Storm these last minute or so right now. Iwatani got to do something to turn things around. Oh, she most certainly will. What a pop-up kick there. And she's going to go up to the top rope again, isn't she? She most certainly is. Iwatani goes up there again, looking for that frog splash. This time she gets it. She gets the frog splash and the cover for victory. Storm kicks out at 1. Incredible. Simply incredible frog splash there, but great to see Storm kicking out as early as she could as well. Boot in the face still though for Iwatani. She certainly wants to win this one. She wants this more than ever. She wants this win badly. She continues to counter. Storm continues to counter her back as well. Great German suplex. The way she had her arms locked around the waist of Storm showed how hard that one was locked in. Oh God, again more agony done on the back here. Storm being rested out on Iwatani's knees here. This is not a good hole to be in. Longer you're spending it, the worse. She did a good job of getting herself out of that one as quickly as possible then. Trading blows right now, but it's Iwatani who comes up on the better side of things. And down goes Toni Storm again in this contest. Another cover going to be made right by Iwatani. Will it be enough for victory here? Another early kick out from Toni Storm, and you can see the fatigue in this one. Iwatani slow to get up to her feet, but as is Toni Storm. And that's those kicks in the face, really, they're just trying to fire up Toni Storm. They're not meant as disrespect. She is trying to fire up her opponent here, trying to bring the very best out of her. Very Japanese kind of pride, that heritage, that drive to beat your opponent at their best. And that's what Iwatani's trying to do there. Bring in Storm up to, oh good God, this is going to go incredibly wrong. Hurricanrana from up high. Storm seeking the end in this match. Strong zero. Cover in the middle of the ring, and Toni Storm hasn't beaten Iwatani yet. Iwatani still alive. Crucifix. Simply incredible. Iwatani was a moment away from defeat, fights back, and now she seeks victory, looking for the frog splash it again. Storm has knees up again. And again, that snap German suplex will connect. Toni Storm looking for victory, and here we go, air raid, crash, neck breaker. Storm connects and doesn't win it yet. How much more does she have to do to put Iwatani away? Storm now willing to risk it. Storm willing to go up high. Went for the elbow drop. No one home. Iwatani moved out of the way. Drop kick into the back there. Storm clutching her ribs. She felt that one. What a German suplex. What a bridge. Will it do it? Will it do it? Storm still trying to kick out as early as she can manage as well. This is turning into an incredible finishing sequence. One of these women are going to win. One of these women has got to lose. Iwatani for the third time. Frog splash. She gets it. She gets it. Victory. Oh, but a whisker away. How much closer can you get to 3? Look at this. Iwatani showing no remorse. Deadlift. German suplex. Storm could be out of it. Iwatani going to look to finish it. Will this do it? Looking for the dragon suplex. Storm counters. And a German suplex from Storm. These two women have got to be exhausted. They've given it their all. Storm gets the drop kick. Storm is in the place, in position. Strong zero. 1, 2. Are you kidding me? She kicks out again. Storm in. German suplex. Bridges after it. Bridges after it. And still Iwatani's kicking out. Good God. Storm has taken so much out of Iwatani. Iwatani has taken so much out of Storm as well. Look at the forearms now. Spinning kick in the gut from Iwatani. Storm connects. And here we go again. Ear raid crash. Neck breaker. Desperation from Storm. And it's enough. Finally, Storm wins. What a match. What a match between these two women. But Toni Storm has done it. Storm wins in a fantastic main event. There's Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler hitting the ring. What is this all about? Baszler assaulting Toni Storm after the match is done. Toni Storm was just about to start celebrating her hard-earned win. And Shayna Baszler taking it all away from her. Look at this. Clinging onto Storm now. Deadlift gut wrench suplexes after everything that Storm has gone through. She's a passenger. And the Queen of Spades is going to look for the Ace of Spades here. Locking in. Is she going to lock in that hold? She most certainly will. Storm is tapping. Storm is tapping. Baszler assaulting Storm to close out this episode of NXT. The Queen of Spades stands tall.